every time Jay's on the stream, I want to sing the jingle just because. Every time.
And I was like, it's time for daily with Jeremy and Jay.
What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy. Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Daily. I have the most humble and handsome and positive. Never mind.
Weird hearing you say
positive.
handsome.
I can't say positive. I can't say positive. You're the most toxic and angry. We replaced Ryan, who's the most positive, with you, the most angry, drunk at 3PO. What's up, Jay? How are you?
I'm good. Shout out MetaPC. They sent me a brand new hat to wear.
Look at there.
They were like, we see you like wearing hats on live streams. Here's a hat. So Geeks is the code, or 199 is the code to use. So that was cool. Yeah. That's it.
My microphone cut out, Jay, again.
So. Yeah. So you went right into sharing without even like saying hello and what's up, chat? What's going on? Everything like that. Yeah. Ahsoka was last night. The final episode. Woohoo! It's over and done. What I find, there's so much to say about all this, but what I really find interesting is that, like,
I'm back.
Season 2 is not like you would think that they would have like season 2 like already cooked. You know, I get there was a strike and stuff, but I was like, you would think that season 2 would already be the way this show ended. This series ended, you would think like there has to be a season 2. There has to be either that or it's like they're just gonna make a movie.
They have no plan whatsoever. It's a complete and total disaster. Some of the clips that I'm seeing right now, and I'm going to bring some of these up. I'm going to put them in a private chat. And Jed, if you can share these for me, since my fucking my microphone is a piece of shit here. But one of these days, I'll become a big enough YouTuber where I can actually have equipment that works. But until then, we're just going to continue to deal with this.
Well, like what I was saying, like let's you can share my screen. This is I would have well, that's not my screen, but I would have assumed that there would be more than conversations. Like it just says Ahsoka season 2 conversations are already happening. Like So, for example, I wrote an all-age graphic novel, a book, right? But it's a four-part series, okay? And it was like I had it all like outlined, like I had it ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I have my story from start to end, and there possibly could be a 5th book if we decide to go like a little different. But I have it all ready to go. So it's like the fact that I don't know if this is just a bait headline or whatever it is, but the fact that it's like, well, we're just gonna have a conversation about part 2. The ending of this series just left on a like nothing happened. It literally, all right. So spoilers, whatever. It literally was like the series was Ahsoka has to stop Thrawn from leaving the planet, and Ezra is already on that same planet. So that was the series, right? That's the plot. So Ahsoka and Sabine make it, however it is, to that planet. And at the end of the series, Ezra and Thrawn leave the planet, leaving Ahsoka and Sabine on the planet. They just literally change places with Force Ghost Anakin walking around, not saying anything, just sitting there watching stuff, looking around, a Force Ghost Anakin, just smiling and grinning and like, and you're just like, what? Man, I'm not the right person to talk about this. I didn't watch. Apparently, the big argument is if you have a problem with the ending of this show, you hate Rebels and Clone Wars, and I'm like, bro, like whatever happened at Dave Filoni, I'm shocked at what I saw. Actually, Dave Filoni has taken everything that I know of Star Wars and just kind of reinvented it. Basically, everything has changed. So we have stormtroopers that can turn into zombies that have already dead. So you have witches that have magic spell powers that can conjure up swords and make stormtroopers become zombies and never die. So even if you like cut their arm off, it's Walking Dead. It was The Walking Dead in the series last night. It was really dumb. And if you have like a serious emotional like scare, you can use the Force just like everybody, like, and just push people and fly and all that stuff. It just was so weird. It just was weird. It just was like everything, like the moment when Luke couldn't like pull the X-wing out of the water, you know, when he was Yoda, and he was like, you know, he looks at Yoda, he's like, you asked the impossible, and then there was like a whole lesson and all that. It's like, this is why you fail and everything. It just was like, this is just, there's no lesson here. It's just Ahsoka looks at Sabine and is like, just trust the Force and it'll work for you. And she's like, okay. And it worked. Like she's pushing
Well,
people.
no, here. Yeah. So we got to watch this clip
yeah.
right here. So this is from Valiant Renegade retweeted Lorena Griol. If you could full screen Lorena's video, and this right here, like this is unbelievable. Play it real quick.
They're gonna do the Mary Poppins thing. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
She's never done that before.
And then in the end, watch how slow Ahsoka looks when she's fighting right here.
Yeah.
Ahsoka looks so old and slow right here. Watch.
That's probably dumber than Ahsoka doing cartwheels in space. Oh God!
Look how old and slow she looks, man. Oh,
they're gonna do the Mary Poppins thing.
Stop it.
It just,
oh my God.
You know, being I don't know, man. Like just using the Force is like something. It just can't. If everyone can use it, then it's not special anymore.
Yeah.
And if everyone can like just magically wake up and have powers, then there's what's the point? You know, it's like it's just not special. And when I remember Star Wars, there was like the political stuff, you know, it was like the Empire and Rebellion, and it was like, you know, Leia and her rebellion and they were, or Padme, they were just fighting the political powers for control. And then you had this other sub story with the people that were like in the Force, you know, Luke, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Vader, Emperor, and they had their own kind of like little story. And it was just awesome how George was able to make it work, because there was like it's like if you were a Force user, you were in this select club that actually knew what was going on and the whole power shift of what's happening. And then there was this whole other, you know, army and all that stuff that was just trying to do something different. And it's like what we have now is just convenience. So it's
Sabine, the everybody gets a trophy nonsense that they love.
It's just a convenience thing where it's doesn't matter anymore. So yeah, I was gonna pull that up if I don't know if you want to share my screen. It's a little
okay.
We can do that a little different. Now this was like I was just gonna highlight it. Not you were doing anything wrong, but so this Balin, who was the best character on the entire series, and it's kind of
so he's standing there.
He's standing here. So he had an alternative agenda in this film, and he went to this planet to go find, you know, whatever. And it's like everyone's saying it's a complete ripoff of Lord of the Rings. So this was the end of Ahsoka. This was Lord of the Rings. Shout out Star Wars Girl for putting this all together. And so he's off in the distance. He's supposed to go to this place here and find out how the Force started. I'm assuming like that's it. Like, and this was just the end of the show. And this is the Lord of the Rings version. So it's like,
good
Lord.
He's
just looking off and like there's some light over here. And it's just like, what is he doing there? And if people that are saying, I have no idea what this is, what is going on, everyone's like, you're retarded, you're stupid because you didn't watch Rebels.
Okay, but still, you know my argument on that, like you know, but still, the point being is that doesn't change the fact it's a ripoff of Lord of the Rings. It's literally a ripoff of Lord of the Rings. That is a fact. It is. Like,
Yeah, oops, I went too fast. Sorry.
regardless if you know what it is, it doesn't matter. It's still a ripoff of Lord of the Rings. And we've been seeing a lot of this stuff happen with this series, apparently. Now, again, to be clear, I watched Rebels. I watched Clone Wars. I was a huge fan of Clone Wars. Rebels was fine. Wasn't that great. It was fine. It was decent. But because I don't care about Disney Star Wars, I don't respect Disney Star Wars. I don't respect anybody involved with Disney Star Wars. I don't respect Dave Filoni. I don't respect Kathleen Kennedy. I don't respect Jon Favreau. I don't respect any of them. And I don't feel that Star Wars will ever, ever, ever be anything other than the meme machine that it is at this point in time, and a social justice propaganda show or universe, because that's really all that is. And but with that said, you can know what that is with the Mortis gods, and it doesn't matter. It's still a ripoff. It's still a ripoff. So and I mean, it's just to be clear, that's not inherently bad, but don't deny that that's what it is. And this is a problem with Disney Star Wars fans, is they just deny anything, because in their minds, they think that it somehow takes away from it if they admit that it's ripping something off like Lord of the Rings. No, it absolutely is. Again, not inherently bad. If you know anything about Star Wars, you know George Lucas ripped off a lot of stuff from a lot of different properties when he created Star Wars. So the fact that these Disney Star Wars fans are in denial over something that's an obvious fact, and they seem to think that it takes away from their universe if they admit it. These people are fucking crazy. Ahead,
It's like, here's another. This was the final scene of the episode. This was where it closes to credits. So you have, like I said, you have you can share my screen whenever. Like, you have Ahsoka and Sabine stuck on the planet. Oh, hold on. Let me kill the music here. So hey, then there's like Force Ghost Anakin just hanging out, man. That's the end. It just goes to credit after that. It's like, it's just like, he's just like wandering around, and it's just, man, it just takes the specialness out of what we've seen in the past, in my opinion. Because if he could just be so carefree and show up whenever he wants, like, why isn't he talking to his son? You know, why isn't he talking to his daughter right now? You know, like, why isn't he over there like with Leia and Luke, and like watching them grow up and watching them, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep,
that was the powerful, that's the whole, that's why he turned evil. He wanted to save his wife because he loved her. You know, he wanted to learn this power of, and then it just consumed him like a cancer. And his son brought him back to the light. It's a beautiful story. You know, it's like, it's a beautiful family story with like tragedy and heartache, where it's just, Luke believed in him so much that he's like, I don't, you know, my dad is going to redeem himself. And he did, you know. But so now you have like, maybe he ran it, maybe, but so now you like, you have this love, and it's like, why are you hanging out with Ahsoka? Like, did you secretly love Ahsoka over Padme? Like, is that what's going to happen? Are you going to come? You know, like, is this where we're going to be? And
don't give them ideas. Don't.
It's just, that's just where I'm at. It's just like, what? This so this show is supposed to shape the future of Star Wars and where it's going. And it's like, they've introduced so much stuff, especially for people that might not understand, like, who didn't watch the cartoon, about how the Force is different now, how there's different things out there. It's like, it just takes away the specialness of Jedi and Force. Like, Sabine is a Jedi now. Even the StarWars.com like just wrote an article saying like, yeah, she's a Jedi now. It's like, that's it. That's all you gotta do is just, you know,
it's be a woman. You have to be a woman.
It's crazy, man. Like, to
be a
watch
woman,
that. I literally watched it and was just like, I had to wait a few hours till it came up on. And anyway, so it's like, I'm watching it and it's like, man, this is, it's just, I don't understand.
Well, you know what else is weird? You know what's weirder than Disney Star Wars? Dan Vasc sent 20 gifted memberships, Jay. What the hell? Did someone hack?
That's the most he's ever spent.
Has someone hacked Dan Vasc's account? He has sent 20 gifted memberships. I don't even understand how that works. Dan, are you okay? Are you okay? Jay, did you loan him the money? And this is the only.
No, I haven't spoken to Dan since our G&G daily live stream disaster. So
Wow, wow. Was there like, is it honeymoon over? You guys fighting now because of that?
he moved on to bigger and better things apparently. So, but
Okay.
maybe his well is run dry, so he's trying to get back on the show.
That's probably
Anyway,
it.
back to
That
Ahsoka.
makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So they gave Rebels fans what they wanted, but they denied original trilogy fans a Luke, Han, Leia.
Yeah.
So they gave Rebels fans like, you know, the big trio is back together and they're fighting. Ezra builds a lightsaber. This is another weird thing. Like Ezra builds his own lightsaber in this show, like in this last episode, and it was like it took him like 5 minutes. And they're just like, yeah, we got a drawer full of kyber crystals laying around for you to build a lightsaber. Again, it's like it just takes away the specialness of like Jedi having to take care of their. And then Ahsoka makes the big speech. She goes, "You don't need a lightsaber to be a Jedi. It's not that important." And you're like, Obi-Wan was like, you know, to Anakin, like, this is your part of your life, man. Like this weapon is like, because when young Anakin was just losing lightsabers left and right, he's like, no. He's like, before we go in for the bad guy and attack the clones, he's like this weapon is important to you. And then you have Ahsoka saying, it's not that important. You don't need it. So Ezra's like, all right, I'll build one real quick. Cool, man, I got it. And you're just like, what? You could just go to anybody's spaceport now and just build a lightsaber like it's whatever. I don't know, man. It just seems.
So my stance on this whole thing is that Disney Star Wars will never return under any circumstance. So like I used to when I was covering this, I had hope that I genuinely believed that Star Wars could be turned around. I genuinely believed that something could happen. And after the Rise of Skywalker, I felt like that was kind of rock bottom for them. And I was like, things are going to change now. And when they didn't change, it was just like, it's never coming back, man. It's never coming back. And so at this point, man, let Disney Star Wars fans have this shit. Like, let them have it because it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah, they've definitely watered it down to a TV show series. And when you and Ryan went over the acolyte of what's coming with queer identities and all that stuff happening, and modern day America is going to be injected in, that's like, well, enjoy it. Y'all enjoy it. Like all your little Twitter bots and all that stuff. Go. It doesn't make me mad anymore. Like, you know, I'm still wearing like old school shirt. It doesn't make me mad anymore. It's just like, it's just kind of stupid.
I mean, you know what Disney Star Wars is going to be? Disney Star Wars is going to be basically New York. With like sanctuary cities where, we're, you know, and then they're going to end up bitching about everything that they've created when you just let them have it. Just let them have it. Let them have it. Let Disney Star Wars turn into fucking Chicago. Let them fucking have it. And then once it's burned to the ground and there's nothing left, then they're going to cry when all of the real Star Wars fans walk away and they're like, we're done. We're over with. We don't care. And then you're going to be left with a bunch of blue-haired land whales and a bunch of pronouns and bio freaks that are going to be a fake offended over every decision you make. And then you're going to wonder, where did our fan base go? Well, you pandered to a bunch of people that never actually cared about the product. And that's what Disney Star Wars needs to go through.
You know, I just wonder. Yeah, I mean, they're already seeing it now. Like, no merchandise sales. They closed down the Star Wars hotel. It's just one disaster after the next. And at least for them, Lucasfilm, I just don't know how you look at, like, if I ran a business, I couldn't imagine looking at these numbers and thinking the bar graph is going in the right direction, because it's not. I mean, the fact, and again, I sound like a broken record, but just this year alone, the fact that they nuked Willow off Disney Plus because it sucked so bad, that's Lucasfilm. Indiana Jones lost hundreds of millions of dollars. The fact that sentence comes out of my mouth is like beyond surprising. An Indiana Jones film not to lose a little bit of money, hundreds of millions. That's a Lucasfilm project. Mando season 3 lost them 300,000 subscribers. That's a Lucasfilm project. And, you know, here we are. I mean, the Star Cruiser shuts down. That was made by the storyboard group of Lucasfilm because they wouldn't let the Disney parks people change it to what it was supposed to be. Like the Disney parks people were building, when they were building Star Wars Land, they were building Tatooine with the cantina from the original. They actually had a Coruscant thing planned out for the prequel lovers and then a sequel section. So it was like all 3 trilogies were going to be represented. And we all know how that went. Lucasfilm came in and changed, like they asked to change it to a land that nobody has ever heard of with characters we don't know. You know, it's just like, you just look at it and go, it's just bizarre, man. Like I don't get, they just keep pushing it, you know, and it's just like, I don't know. Like we saw the High Republic sales of their books, and it's like the fact that they're pumping out books that only sell 2,000 copies with a Star Wars name on it is like
Shout out to Reva. Shout out to Reva for
how
her
do
failed
you
lightsaber.
say? Yeah, like how do you look at that and say, hey man, we're doing great? Like, even if you like that product, like just looking at the numbers, it's just like the numbers don't lie. It's just the Reva lightsaber. Listen, they have never marketed, and that thing is still up on Hasbro under failed campaigns. They have never marketed something like that I've seen. They have a Twitter account with millions of followers. They have a YouTube account with millions of followers. They have StarWars.com. They did a commercial for that lightsaber. They tweeted it out on all their social medias with millions of followers. They did videos. They did an article on that lightsaber, and still nobody wanted it. If that doesn't tell you, like, something is wrong, like,
and
what
Ewan
in the
McGregor,
world?
Ewan McGregor got like 35 million views off his Reva's a great woman and we can't be racist. 30-something million views, and nobody went to support that. But you know what? GG's got some support from Sir Neoff. Says, after watching last night, Tuesday night's main event, Jay, you remind me of a modern Rodney Dangerfield. Get no respect.
No.
Hail the 199.
I've accepted my fate.
Here we
are.
That's where we are. Gary's Beard Crab says, yesterday was the 30th anniversary of the Battle of Mogadishu. Black Hawk Down has the only line in cinema that can always bring a tear to my eye. Gordy's gone, man. I'll be outside. Good luck. Yeah, man. Black Hawk Down was such a iconic, man. That movie.
Shout out Matthew Marsden, our friend of ours that was in that film.
That's right. That is right. Spider Claw for 20 says, Beardo ruined my super chat last night. It had 4 sentences, including a good flying possum joke. Seeing as I agree too much with Ryan, I have to give someone else crap. And my second-rate Ryan, it is. But that's what a Miles fanboy gets.
Jeremy,
I have to live that down. He's never going to live down the Spider-Man 2 stuff.
I got some breaking Rachel Zegler news.
Okay. She been fired again?
No.
According to Inside the Magic.
Ooh.
Has she been fired again?
She's attacking men again on her.
Oh, she's going
Twitter.
after Big Cat. Is she going after Big Cat?
It's not news that the media is particularly and unwarrantedly cruel to Taylor Swift, but the way men feel entitled to speak about women, their bodies, and their sex lives need to be severely evaluated. So she's talking about Big Cat. Then she goes on, you'll never see people speaking this way about a man. That goes for a lot of different scenarios. And they leave Taylor Swift alone. Seeing a lot of it's a joke, but you got to understand that since the beginning of time, you can't take a joke. Wow, she's really going. She's going.
Let's play the clip from Big Cat really quick.
The obsession men have with sex and porn is so exhausting. What?
Yeah, because there's no women involved in the adult film industry.
What?
No, there's no women. As a matter of fact, I would argue that probably the top 100 paid stars in the adult film industry are all women. Where's our male
What
representation?
about
for
OnlyFans girls too that
I
make
know.
millions?
Oh my god, dude, these people are
You want to
fucking
play the video?
crazy. Yeah, let's play the video from Big Cat. Let's hear. Big Cat. I love Big Cat.
You know what? All right, I'll say this: if Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift release a sex video, I'll consummate this relationship and be like, fine, you guys can have sex, you can be boyfriend girlfriend. I don't buy it until I see some dick in vagina.
Do you think is she?
I'm saying that right now.
Is she pregnant?
P and V,
I haven't seen her drinking at these games. I saw her drinking some juice.
P
No,
and
she was-
V.
she was
Otherwise, it's
drinking
not really.
Drinking some juice.
Should we demand it?
I want to see.
I want to see P and V. I want to see insertion.
I want to see P and A.
P and A
Mhm.
or P and V or P and M.
Yeah,
I'll take P and M.
P&M's good.
I'll take P. I'll even take H on P.
Hand.
Yeah, I'll take a hand
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
see a hand job. That's fine.
Wow.
Give us a Lauren Bobbitt. Is that her
That'd be
name?
hot.
Bobbert.
Bobert. Yeah.
Give us a Lauren Boebert, and I will be like, you know what? These two lovebirds, they can't get their hands off each other. It's fine. Until that happens, I think it's fake, and I think it's for clicks, and I think Taylor Swift is using the NFL to try to make her star bigger.
I would see some TF.
I would see some
I would see TF.
Listen, I agree that I think that the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce situation is 100% fake at this point in time. I don't see any evidence. Like we've seen that one video of them where they're walking after the game, they're not holding hands, and it just looked really strange. So I think this is all about making Travis Kelce more popular, making the NFL more popular, but Kelce is now pushing Pfizer. And suddenly again, he's a week before his Pfizer commercial comes out, he's magically dating Taylor Swift. Now she's at every game. Every time the camera turns away, it's talking about Taylor, showing her in the skybox with his entire family and all these celebrities. Dude, it seems mega fake. And the fact that Rachel Zegler is responding to Big Cat with these lies. Oh, they would never say about a man. He literally said it about a man and a woman in that clip. What are you talking about?
They obviously don't watch the Whatever podcast either.
No,
like all the women who share how they like to toy with men and all that stuff, and how, oh man, like when you live your whole life with blinders, you only see what you want to see to make a bad point.
Yeah. It's insanity.
And of course she, she blocks the replies.
Yes, of course she
So-
does. Typical coward. But this is so funny that Big Cat's, but the Swifties have been going after him the last few days. He's been catching hell on social media. And then Dave Portnoy retweeted it and he says, please continue to trash him. I love it. So yes, Travis Kelce is a piece of garbage. I do not like Travis Kelce anymore. Blake Barrett says, have you heard anything about the new Castlevania series on Netflix? I'm hearing it's pretty woke. I've heard it's pretty woke too. I think Melanie Mack has a video on it, but I have not seen it. Pokey says, if Thrawn said it would be ground combat, why didn't he fly his Star Destroyer and hyperspace ring into orbit?
Right. So Thrawn is supposed to be the smartest man in the galaxy, and he has done a lot of questionable, dumb things. Like when he went to attack Ahsoka's ship, he just sent 2 TIE fighters when he could have sent like 100. And the 2 TIE fighters, they shoot down Ahsoka's ship, but Ahsoka's ship magically shoots them down at the same time. So he's just like, okay, well, that's cool. The fact that you had like 2 Sith out there, Balin and Shin, just wandering around the planet when you could have called them at any time and say, we could use a little more assistance here to kill Ahsoka. It's just, it was dumb. It was dumb. Basically, he sent all his zombie stormtroopers on a mission that he knew that he was just going to leave everybody behind just to leave. So it just was dumb. I can't say anything. The writing is awful. I don't get it, but anyway.
There we are. Taker says, let's be honest, if Ahsoka and Sabine had jumped off the edge and landed on a sled piloted by Hyung and flying orgs, it would be just as realistic. Let's see. Unknown says shit Clown Wars. Adam June Man says, is Balin offing himself by jumping off the fist?
No, he's on a so he's technically not a Sith, but he's not a Jedi. He's not a Sith or a Jedi, but we're just for the sake of argument, they're the bad Jedi. They're the Sith. So they he's on a quest to discover the Force from the past because he's tired of the like we're all tired. He's tired of the Empire rises and take over the Jedi, then the Jedi rises and take over the Empire, and it's just a circle. He goes, maybe there's something more for us out there. So that's his.
Ministry of Wrong Think says the fact that Ray Stevens' last scene of his life was him standing on a ripoff from Lord of the Rings inside a ripoff of Star Wars is freaking depressing. Is that the last role he did? I know it was his last major role. So
he was the best thing in Ahsoka. He was really good.
Tobias Nexus says, to be fair, the zombie thing has been around for a while. There was a comic about it where they called it Project 171A, made through Sith alchemy.
All right, so so that's the issue. I'm like, they're introducing things that people said, hey, if you're a true Star Wars fan, you would understand. But it's like, no, I didn't watch Rebels, and no, I didn't flip through all the comic books to see that it was a thing. Right. So we're watching the TV show as like a normie. So it's like understanding what, if you want to bring people back into Star Wars to watch, but you're confusing them because they haven't read comic books or watched other cartoon shows, then you probably might lose that audience because they just are like, they're either confused or they just don't care. So,
well, like I said, in isolation, I don't have a problem with stuff like that. But when you try to build Ahsoka up to this end-all be-all show that the entire universe is built around, then you can't pander to a small group of people that only read comics or only watched these animated series that had very low viewership in the big scheme of things. There's nothing wrong with making a live action Ahsoka that plays off of Rebels and plays off of Clone Wars. But there is something wrong when you're saying this shapes the future of the entire Star Wars universe. And you're like, well, 10% of the Star Wars fandom watched the shows that you're basing this off of. So it's just, it is what it is.
The crazy thing is, it's like, when you introduce so much to Star Wars, then it just becomes like every other. Like I said, it just loses its specialness like every other show. So now if somebody wants an army, instead of like doing the clone thing, it's like, well, we'll just make them zombies. If we want someone to have the Force, they don't really need any training. They just need to be put in a severe situation where their emotions are ignited and maybe a loved one might get hurt. So now everyone can tap into the Force that way. Lightsabers are no longer special because you don't need them to be a Jedi. You don't need them. It's not a weapon that you need. It's just like there's no specialness to this anymore. That, I guess that's where I'm coming from. So uniqueness might be a better word too. Space Rebel, thank you.
I personally don't even care as they introduce new elements and all of that. Like, I don't really care about that. Like, a lot of that's the prequel argument with what people hated about George and him evolving and creating all these new things people weren't familiar with. But my problem is that it's all social justice propaganda, and they hate men. Like, Lucasfilm hates men. That's just a fact of the matter. They don't like men. Dave Filoni clearly is pushing the Force is female bullshit, and that's my hard line in the sand as to why I just don't believe that they will ever, like, it is the Force is female, 100% is. The Shockmaster says, rip a yeeted J like I yeet wrestlers.
Yeah, he did.
But
I always come out on top.
The Puller Jay Bowman says, I got news for you. Jay's been yeeted. Spider Claw, come to think of it, Deadpool called Miles Spider adjacent. So now Beardo is Ryan adjacent. Thank you. Let's see. Holocron Jedi says Filoni is heir to Rian Johnson, not George Lucas. So much bad in the finale. Sabine is Rape 2.0 with no substantial training, no history with the Force. It felt forced. More female Mary Sue crap. Filoni is hack feminist. Yeah, I mean, well, at the end of the day, he did learn under George Lucas. That's just the truth. But without George Lucas, he is a shell of himself, and the true Filoni shows his ugly head, much like again Rian Johnson without leadership. And again, this comes back to leadership. I think it doesn't change the fact that Rian Johnson's a piece of shit for what he did to Star Wars. It doesn't change the fact that Dave Filoni's a piece of shit for what he's done. But when George was there, Dave Filoni gave Star Wars fans things that they liked. When Rian Johnson is under the thumb of someone like Vince Gilligan with leadership, he did a good job on Breaking Bad. Under Kathleen Kennedy, there's no leadership, and she allows these fucking freaks to do whatever they want.
Oh, no, I see. That's what I thought was going to be with Disney Plus. So you had the main blockbuster stories, right? And then they had all these little complement shows, such as cartoons, comic books, and stuff that complemented the main story. They complement. So if you found something that you really enjoyed, there was a whole other section that you could explore and enjoy, and like, oh, this is awesome. And it complemented what you already loved. Such as one of my favorite EU books is Darth Plagueis. I love the prequels. People can argue whatever it is. I love the prequels, but the Darth Plagueis book really complements the prequels, and on how Darth Plagueis and Palpatine and all work together. It was, for me, it made the prequels even better. So I that's all I'm saying. It's like it complements the blockbuster films of the story that's already there. So that's what I thought Disney Plus was going to be, not like the main Star Wars what we got. I thought it was just going to be some side stories that complement the bigger picture, but obviously it's a little different. So
yep. Let's see here. John Gotez says, for 20 says season 2 plot leak. The other galaxy is Rings of Powerland. Balin offs himself after meeting Guy Ladriel, who convinces Sabine, Alice from Batwoman, and Ahsoka to scissor with each other for 23 episodes. 10 out of 10. There you go. There's your season 2 plot leak, everybody. And that sounds pretty damn accurate if you ask me. Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Balin runs into Thanos. Let's just convert all the worlds into one.
Tomac says, wasn't there a book where Luke was stressing about building a lightsaber would blow off his arm if he messed it up?
Yes.
So, well, yeah, that's why so many people are so upset with, again, I see why people are upset when there's better versions of stories, like something like One Piece. People talk about the anime and the manga has more to it. Obviously, the EU has far better stories and context and gives you far more depth with a lot of these characters and everything. But really, this just comes back to the fact that they actively disrespected the EU by getting rid of it. Then they made it worse by Kathleen Kennedy saying there's no source material. Kathleen Kennedy said there's no source material.
Yeah.
It's insanity, dude. It really is. Hayden Wayne for 20. I'm really glad Ahsoka is over because I'm completely apathetic to Disney Star Wars. I'm just ready for the Fellowship as a whole to not bury it. I'm never going back. That I can make that claim. I can comfortably say I will never watch Disney Star Wars ever again. Like, and that's just being like, do I know I could get a ton of views out of it? Yes. Do I think other people should continue to cover it if they want to? Yes. Like, if you have a level of passion for it still, please cover it. Somebody needs to call it out. I'm not ever telling anybody they can't do something, and I just don't have the passion for it anymore like I used to. Gary's crushing it, obviously. Jay's crushing it. Ryan's still covering it. They're crazy crushed. So continue if you feel that you have the passion to it. I don't have the passion for it anymore. And the same with Marvel. Like, I'm not going to watch Loki. I don't give a shit about a lot of these MCU shows. I did watch Guardians of the Galaxy because I still think James Gunn does a good job on those, and I watched it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's just how I am. So, guess we'll see.
It's pop culture's it takes you through some crazy phases, and right now we're like One Piece was a surprise, so it's really sad that we can literally say, wow, it's not bad. Because there's just been so much whatever's happened. And then I honestly think that the this new writers whatever agreement is going to be bad for this leftist agenda. I really do. I think it's going to be bad for them because these companies are not going to hire as many people to filter all that stuff out to put all that stuff in, I guess, to hire and we've seen across the board, these companies are fired, they're letting go their what the freak is that title? The diversity and inclusion chairman or whatever that is. They're getting rid of these positions on all these. Disney got rid of theirs. They're getting rid of these positions on all their fronts, and so it's only a matter of time. But the thing is the damage already been done? Has the damage already been done where people have just given up? There was a trailer that just came out called it's coming out in December, called Silent Night. Did I get that right, chat? Basically, people are calling this film the Punisher movie Disney refuses to make. And the trailer was freaking awesome. It's one dude goes through a tragedy, picks up a gun, and goes to kill the bad guy. Pretty basic story. We've seen that all in the 80s with Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, all that stuff where it's tragedy. I got to get revenge. The revenge story. So, and all the people in the comments section are all we really should move away from the white guy getting revenge on minorities. So it's in the teaser trailer. This guy's celebrating Christmas with his family. Somebody comes along, I'm not sure, but it's in the trailer, and his family gets killed, in the Punisher story. It's a white guy. So then they show in the trailer where he's training and figuring out how to shoot a gun and everything, and then he goes after the bad guy, and they're playing Christmas music. So it's it's freaking hilarious. But the comments are, all these people are we need more realism in our films, and this just isn't real. We shouldn't do that. I'm well, because all these people are upset about it, I'm definitely gonna go watch it and do a review. It's a Lionsgate film, and yeah, it's Death Wish. Everybody in the chat are it's Death Wish, Die Hard, Commando. We can name that story trope over and over because and we've gone away. I mean, Man on Fire, same thing, going through tragedy.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
So
it's ever.
Yeah, I see. We love that.
Man on Fire is one of the best movies ever made.
What an easy story to make. Hard tragedy, get revenge. That's it. There's your film.
Yep.
But now it's everyone's I don't know, man. What that white? Maybe it should be played by somebody other than a white guy. So it's wow.
Jamber for 10 says, if you want some good Star Wars, check out, I never know how to say his name because I'm subscribed to him. Darth, is it Angelus? He's working super hard on an animated adaptation of Heir to the Empire. He's about halfway through the book so far. Send some love. Yeah, I've been subscribed to him for over a year now, and he's been working on that Heir to the Empire animated version for a long ass time. And so definitely if you guys have not, definitely go check that out.
You know what's happening today, Jeremy?
So, what?
At 2:30 Eastern, everybody's cell phone's going to go off because the government's testing something.
Yep. We'll see what happens.
2:30 Eastern is what they say.
We'll see what happens.
The purge has begun.
SBZ says, Luke, did I ever tell you about Ahsoka Tano? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Adam June Man says, Ahsoka hurt my brain. P. Gombi says, you get the Force. You get the Force. And you get the Force too. I'm so proud of you all. I remember, children, we don't keep scores. That is pretty much what it comes down to. Bushin Ryu Cat says, Hail 199, $20. Geeks and Gamers and Best Chat. Sweet Jesus Kitty here. Changing topics. I've seen some promos for Stephen John Ward, Mihawk from One Piece. I see male lead actors like him rebuilding Hollywood. Can I have him play live action Star Killer? So the guy that played Mihawk is fantastic in live action One Piece. Opala. Mihawk, I thought Mihawk, he's probably in like my most he's probably the most interesting character. You don't get to see a ton of him in it, but I think he's pretty awesome. What do you think?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the video when he goes to meet the creator of One Piece and he's like super excited and that's good stuff.
Well, that's Luffy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Mihawk. I'm talking about the guy that played Mihawk. Mihawk is the guy, the swordsman with the cowboy hat.
Yeah. I screwed.
You know
up.
what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about, Jay? You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
Mihawk, the guy that Zoro fights.
Yeah, let me hang my head in shame. What an idiot. Yeah. Pretty great villain.
I don't think he's a villain either.
Well, can we do spoilers? The fact that he fights with like a little little dagger and stuff was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew the chat was gonna kill me for that. Gosh, Jay. I skipped breakfast today. That's my problem. Yep, fake fan.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. I know.
Bushirai Kit becomes a member, drops 5 gifted memberships.
Gosh.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that, brother. All right, Reptile Trevor, member message. I was a Clone Wars and Rebels fan, and Ezra was my favorite. I liked Sabine back then. This show has ruined both of them. Dave Filoni is no savior. Now, that is a take that's very interesting to me. If you like Clone Wars and Rebels and you're pissed off at this, and again, I think that Filoni is a guy that just, without George and moving him into live action, recipe for disaster. Hub says, I would rather watch the original Ewoks movie than any Disney Star Wars Film Wars crap. Tony G, Disney Star Wars needs Sabine to be a Jedi to form the Knights of Ren. Let's see. Ferd Turgeson says, zombies and witches in Star Wars is dumb. Filoni is takeover, unfortunately. X-Wing is here. Says the zombie troopers just want the one thing this show was missing, brains. Jessica, remember Filoni identifies as a man with the laughing emoji. Mountain Mutt says let's see. There are innumerable EU books. Not one interfered with the original lore, nor did you need to read them to understand Lucas Star Wars. Bonesaw is ready. Says, at this point, I just want the Acolyte to be full OTT woke. Stop killing it with 1,000 cuts and just drop the nuke on Star Wars already. Well,
I think it's already hit, like, honestly. So
yeah. Stephen Wasick for 20 EAS alerts have been around since the 90s and provide alerts for severe weather, natural disasters, and even Amber alerts. The last national test was in 2011. Nobody said a thing. Not everything is a conspiracy. Just turn off your phone. So I hear you on that.
Did I even say it was a conspiracy? I just said get ready for. I just made a joke.
I don't think he means you specifically, but the reason you're getting the reaction is because of the people's loss in their faith in the government and the media. That's what this is a reflection of that. That is why you're seeing so many people question it. It's not a matter of it's been around forever. It's a matter of people have lost faith in the infrastructure of this country and the people that are behind it. And after COVID, I think people 100% are justified in feeling that way. Doesn't mean you're wrong, Stephen. You're right. It has been around for you know.
I agree.
But people have lost faith in everything, and this is all because of COVID. And I think that people are justified in feeling that way.
I just made a purge joke. I didn't.
So
I think the alert will last 10 seconds, honestly. So
yeah, it'd be pretty quick. Gump 3PO says, look at crime stats. It's real. Jocelyn, thank you for the gifted membership. Brock, if you're here, also last night was a great Tuesday night's main event as always. Hail the 199. Thank you, Jocelyn, and shout out to Brock for dropping all those gifted memberships last night. I think he dropped like 70. Crimson Fang says, it's like what Syndrome from The Incredibles said. Yes. Hercules says, Jeremy, did you see Edge is now in AEW? I did see clips of it. It was pretty cool.
Is he?
Yeah, he got a really big pop. I thought it was really good. In terms of him coming out, it was cool to see the reaction. So I did like that. Sir Hat says, I loved in Ahsoka when Mihawk talked to the whales.
Yeah.
The commentaries of a nerdy night. I dropped off Rebels the moment Hera used Chopper's Wi-Fi to blow up the Star Destroyer and the hyperspace whales. Seriously, how did Filoni's Thrawn survive that G-force and no oxygen? Yeah, I didn't. So if I think
know.
I think Clone Wars is amazing. I think Rebels is average at best. Average at best with a lot of filler, a lot of boring filler in it. And yeah, so this sounds to me like Ahsoka sounds like the next step in that progression of Filoni without George. That's what it sounds like to me. Kevin Terrell says, are we now parents? Let's see. Are we now our parents since we are in our 30s where we said our music was trash and movies were too violent? I wonder if this happens every generation. That's why we don't enjoy this new content. I mean, that's not a terrible take in general, but I would say that there's a lot of stuff out there. It's like, for instance, I went and watched Avatar 2. I loved it. I thought Avatar 2 was fantastic. Most people I expected to hate it. I expected to despise it, and it turned out to be fun. I love that movie. And I didn't like the first Avatar. I wasn't sure what to think about Guardians of the Galaxy. I went into it and ended up being one of my favorite MCU movies. One Piece is another one. I didn't think I was going to like One Piece. One Piece turned out to be phenomenal. Do you know what I think all of these have in common? That they keep core values that have built movies for years. It ain't just like my generation. Like, it's literally like respect the source material. James Cameron was working on, the thing he created. James Gunn was working on Guardians, and it had the creator's vision. One Piece had the creator's vision, in mind. And what Disney Star Wars has done is they have actively tried to move away from the creator's vision. That's the problem. That's the inherent problem here, is that they have decided we want to move as far away from George Lucas's Star Wars as we possibly can. I don't know how you can like that if you're a Star Wars fan.
I also think too, it's that if the next generation really loves something, we would see it in the numbers. And like, we're tracking a lot of like the numbers, and like people just, every generation, no one's watching stuff or buying this stuff or going to the movies or anything like that. So, but I do think that's a valid point. When you get a certain age, you kind of get stuck in things that you really love. But I mean, you look at the success of independent creators too, and how that stuff is still going strong. And it just depends. But
it doesn't. I don't think it does depend. I think Nintendo.
Yeah, that's a great point.
They haven't changed for better or for worse. Nintendo has not changed pretty much at all. They are the same stubborn company that they have been for my entire life, and I love them, and they're more successful now than they've ever been, and they have not changed their core values as a company. And so we're not sitting there telling you how the latest Mario game, which is literally just the same thing that Mario was back in the 80s, we're not telling you that the latest Mario game is ultra woke trash, because it's the same thing, just evolved with technology, but it's the same thing. And so that shows you that, like, when you actively change, like Disney Star Wars, and you actively move away from what made Star Wars great, people are going to criticize that. The MCU is another thing. It's all about wokeness for me, and wokeness is a real thing. It's 100% a real thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jay, we got to talk about Robin in the Hood. Jed, do you want to pull up this clip really quick? So
he's really mad at Gary.
Robin Hood, there's this new show, Robin Hood, and Director X is really, really mad. He's really, really mad. And this is not the first time he's complained. He complained about Josiah made a Geeks Gamers video back in the day. He complained about Az, and now Director X. We're gonna have to pause this a little bit here and there because it's got some music in it. But this is Director X right here, okay? And this dude goes off, okay? This dude goes off. So let's play it and listen to what Director X has to say.
Robin Hood is getting rating bombed. 1.6 out of 10. Now, you probably, why would someone do that? It's just some TV show. Well, being that Robin is actually a black woman this time,
Wow.
the angry nerd community is very upset. In fact, from the moment it was announced, these guys lost their minds.
So it's only because she's a black woman. Just want to be clear. It's only because she's a black woman, and everybody's a racist. Continue.
The moment. So this is a month ago. So this is just when we said we're releasing it.
Shout out to
What
Ryan.
the fuck is this? Race and gender swap. Woke disaster. Robin Hood remake looks different. Haha. Guess what? He doesn't like that it's a black woman either. This will fail. Robin Hood gets blacked.
Hypnotic.
I'm laughing. It's so funny. All right. Just when we started production, they were talking about it. 1 year ago, they were at us, right? Pop culture crisis. It's a crisis that we're doing Robin Hood. What the, right? When this person put this up a month ago. So this is just when we said it's coming out. These videos are coming from either from the announcement or when it said it's coming out. Right? Like other languages. Look, another guy, like they're worldwide. These guys are going in. A black
Worldwide, baby. Prestige worldwide. That's right. Worldwide. Literally everybody hates this trash fire of a show. And the reason why is because of identity politics. It all comes back to identity politics. But it gets better, Jay. It gets much, much better. Let's continue.
Robin Hood. It's going to be horrible. How could black kids do Robin Hood? Right? And these people tell you they're not racist. I've watched a lot of these guys. I subscribe to a few of these guys. They're adamant. They're not racist. Yeah, swear up and down, not racist. They say we're the ones that making everything about race. This guy's fucking French. This dude here put a black wizard with fried chicken and a gold necklace.
You are making everything about racist. Oh, man.
Black wizard.
You literally are making everything about race. What?
I know it.
What? Like, and the fact that you constantly... This is all they have, man. They have to go online and search to find people that don't like their show and pass the blame to something else other than you have a terrible show. Yep. They do this all the time. I always go back to freaking Seth Rogen, who made that Santa X show when we were all like, that sucks. This show is terrible. And then he blames white supremacists on a tweet. He's like, this is who's review bombing and no one likes this show. It's like these people can never take an L and say, we put together a bad show, so maybe we can do some changes and make it better. Man, how about making something a little original? For gosh, man.
All right, it gets better. Let's go.
It's too early.
They're not racist. Watch this.
Gary.
Pause it.
Gary. Wow.
Oh my God. What does the tweet say? Alternate opening for
Robin Hood. Man, people make jokes about me and stuff like all the time. It's like I'm not on the TikTok going. They don't like.
I love it so much.
God,
Keep
man.
going. Keep going.
You think it's a game, but really it's not. Show with the force coming in hot. Everybody must eat.
That was a cute one, right? And then the posts. Yeah, Robin in the Hood is not exactly a new idea.
Robin in the
So when you go to IMDb and you look at user ratings, I have almost 158 people have given it a 1 star, 68%. 22 people up here, 10 stars. Look, when I go by country, Canada, 1 star. Look at this. It's still 15 for the 10s. There's a real gap in between. United States. Remember, the show's not released in the States. United Kingdom. Show's not released in the United Kingdom.
This is amazing.
Australia, I think they might. Look at this. This is what these guys do. Sweden. Look at this.
That's what these guys
And remember, these guys will tell you the type of men they are. Real men, eh? Yeah, so this is what these guys are doing with themselves. This is the time they have in their life. This is the manosphere. This is the manosphere. This is what a man does.
Look what you're doing.
If you ever had the guts to talk to a girl,
wow.
to walk up to a girl and start a conversation, if you ever had that ability, I'm so some of you do. Would you tell her that you made a user account on IMDb so you could review? Would that be the
You're
thing
so
you would do
mad.
that you think would get you ahead in the conversation? Would you tell her that? You're a man, right? You do man thing.
So now you're just staring at us.
So that's what these.
You can end it there.
Now you're just staring at us, saying these guys they're incels. They don't talk to women.
Go to my Twitter account, Jed, and pull up. I retweeted Memology because he clipped that part, and then look at my response to Memology about what I said about Gary.
The crazy thing is, he literally went online and told people to use a VPN to watch his show in places that weren't getting this show. Now he's on here complaining that people in areas that aren't getting the show are review bombing it because they don't like it.
That's what I said, Gary. Gary be like, right there,
Dude.
do rag Vince, baby. So that's Gary after getting acknowledged by Director X. So that's Memology.
This is,
but what a disaster.
I can't. It's just like if you did something, if you made a crap, take an L, man. These people, or just ignore it. So this is Ryan's tweet. Shout out to Ryan. Said the same thing. He's like, you literally told people to use a VPN to watch it internationally a few days ago. LOL. Now you're acting like it's a wild thing to suggest. I know this is hard to imagine, but maybe people don't like the show. Thanks. Does it have an American broadcaster yet? I'm in the middle of the international move. I think it might be. Yeah, here he goes. Not yet. It's VPN time. So he's telling people to use a VPN to watch the show. Now he's complaining.
Yep.
You know, and he's calling people stupid.
Yep.
How do these people?
These people are clowns, man.
How do they get these jobs? How do they
People are
get these
clowns.
jobs? I just don't.
It's amazing.
I don't know.
It really is amazing.
And then the fact that you go. First of all, you don't make. I love the fact that they don't make an argument. They go into mudslinging right off the top. They're just like, you know, they go right into mudslinging. Basically, he was saying anyone who made a video negatively about the show is a racist. Then he says that they probably don't have a woman in their life. This is what these guys do. He points out a black Gandalf with fried chicken in his hand, you know, just to kind of push his little thing and saying the show's good. Just don't listen to these guys because I subscribe to these guys because I want to know what they're saying about me. It's just I'm so glad like I'm working on my own universe and stuff. Like, this is just getting so tiring, man.
Yep.
It's just getting tiring. Your show sucks. It sucks.
It does. Let's see. All right, I got a lot to catch up on here.
Yeah,
Christian Stone says, do y'all think the Ray movie will actually make it to the silver screen? There's no way they think that it is wise or $200 million plus investment. Go Jags. Duval 199. I think it will hit the big screen. I do. I think it will hit the big screen. Shockingly enough. Let's see. Hayden says the funny thing is I don't know anybody who wastes time to go leave a bad review for woke garbage, laughing my ass off. I know a few people that do, but you know, let them have it if that's what if you're out there giving those reviews, whether it's positive or negative, go for it. You have my blessing. The people's voices are important. Ministry of Wrong Thing. This is the show where the cops put handcuffs on a paralyzed woman and called for a flight risk. You talking about Robin in the Hood? Is that right?
No.
Slappy McSlapster says, Jay, can you get Director X on FNT?
I'll work on it.
Let's see. Cyfax says they took a show for children and made a live action version for people with a comprehension of a child. Buck's Basement says, I can't wait for people to meet awesome characters in Opla season 2. Chopper, Nico Robin, Crocodile, Bon Clay, Princess Vivi. So many fantastic characters. Hell yeah. Yes, it was in the show. Good Lord, that's crazy. Thanks, Ministry of Wrong Think, for that super chat. RPG says, did you hear about Ray Stevenson's RIP to a legend? Yes, RIP to Ray Stevenson. Jose A says, FYI, you can turn off government notifications on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Let's see. Philadel says, will you ban me if I say that American football is rugby for pussies? I'm just curious. No. You're not going to get banned for having an opinion. No, you're not going to get banned. That's not how we roll here. Sci-Fi is Life walks up to the stand. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Laughing my ass off. Taker says, rating terrorism strikes another. Let's see. Rating terrorism strikes another black female lead. MCU fan. I rated Robin 1 out of 10 on IMDb, and I am not a bigot. I don't think that's the real MCU fan. Sci-Fi is Life. Shout out to Master of TDS for pointing out he told people to use VPN. Shout out to Master of TDS. And then over on Rumble peeps in the house. Vault 95 Survivor. Jay and Ryan should do their own one-time whatever podcast with Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic Girls. Also, Anna, that Star Wars girl, Gothic's hijabi gamer. Hey, I mean, we could set that up. We could fund that right now. Again, you can go directly to geeksgamers.com right now. I haven't finished everything. I still got to work on it more, but we got direct funding over there. So if there's stuff you want to see, direct funding right there, and it'll help us continue to do stuff like that. Vault 95 Survivor. How long till the shit Clown Wars makes a character with the lightsaber arm in an Army of Darkness ripoff? I believe that. And then also, how long till current Disney makes a pink lightsaber for the shows or movies that when it ignites and vibrates, it wiggles around a bit like a rubber? Damn, man. And that is it. Geeks Gamers Daily comes to a close today. I got an early Cobra Cast today, earlier than normal. Jay has his Ahsoka show today. So basically I'm flip-flopping Cobra Cast time slot and the gaming time slot. I'm just flip-flopping those. So Cobra Cast will be the earlier show. I don't know exactly what
you
time.
might need to start Cobra Cast in an hour. You have so much to cover. You might be doing a 6-hour Cobra Cast stream, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man. Speaker Trump just made a comment about Speaker of the House and all. Anyway, sorry. That's Cobra Cast stuff.
It'll be
awesome.
It'll be happening tonight. I gotta compile all my stuff, and I gotta go get a new wire for this stupid microphone. Jay, what do you got going on tonight?
That's about it, man. Just gonna do Ahsoka, then I'm gonna head back over to Cobra Cast to see what you're doing. So
it's gonna be a busy day.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's pretty much it. It's like, there's so much political theater going on right now. It's crazy.
It really is. It really is. Thank you guys. You guys have been awesome. I still can't believe Dan Vass sent me 20 gifted memberships.
Yeah, that's
still. I think he got hacked. I really do. But either way, I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you for all the support. Jay is the best of us. Have a good day. We'll talk to all of you later.
Shout out,
bye, everyone.
Rippaverse.
Rippaverse!